Good morning, everyone. My name is Dale Skye Jones, Executive Chancellor of Oaksterdam University, and joining me today is Executive Director of Reset, Sarah Bodley. Thank you for inviting us to present our team, and we are very grateful for you introducing Oaksterdam and Reset. We found common purpose and intellectual alignment. So this joint proposal came together there's a share screen issue there. This joint proposal came together due to the foresight of the committee that set forth this process to create the space to combine our strengths and get the best outcomes for Connecticut residents. The mission of the Social Equity Council to ensure adult use cannabis program is grown equitably and ensures that the funds from the adult use program are brought back to the communities hit hardest by the war on drugs, the very conversation under discussion today. Our joint coalition, including the Minority Cannabis Business Association, ArcView International Cannabis Bar Association, and the United Food and Commercial Workers Union, have long held this moral imperative. The human-centered approach is Reset's driving principle, and the key organizations in this coalition were formed based on social justice and health equity in our various sectors, encouraging meaningful community reinvestment and corporate responsibility. We have united to transfer our unprecedented experience into accessible, actionable programming. This is a holistic view of equity for the entire community, and we are uniquely positioned to spark systems change throughout Connecticut. This endeavor is not just for the cannabis industry social equity recipients of technical assistance. This is also for the health equity of the community, not measured by a single person. An integral strategy of our program is to build out the Connecticut ecosystem of diverse service providers and investors while creating new, good jobs. The ultimate goal of equity policy is improved health and wealth equity in our cities and towns. This plan presents opportunities and a support network for professionals from historically marginalized communities, including attorneys, accountants, marketing, and finance professionals of Connecticut, to participate as service providers for our cohorts and cannabis companies. Folks have access to make good earnings while positioning themselves for future clients. Anyone can be here and be part of this solution. Oaksterdam has offered continuing education to professionals wishing to interface and consult with the cannabis industry, and Connecticut professionals from marginalized communities are welcome to participate in this industry and tap in through this accelerator program with the Minority Cannabis Business Association, the MCBA. And this is the largest national trade association dedicated to serving the needs specifically of minority cannabis businesses. This is a unique blend of both local impact and national best practices with mission alignment across all the organizational partners. The proposal outlines the collaborative efforts of Oaksterdam, a longstanding cannabis education institution. We have 26 years in social justice and policy reform in close partnership with the social enterprise developer, Connecticut-based nonprofit Reset, with 15 years supporting mission-driven startups in Connecticut. This unique combination and coalition will coordinate and implement sustainable programming that meets the unique needs of social equity entrepreneurs in the cannabis industry, while encouraging a local ecosystem of supply chain companies and professional service providers. The incubator experience, we were the first institution to create and deliver formalized curriculum for the cannabis industry and continue to revolutionize business, professional, and workforce development. Four-year universities have modeled their delivery after hours, after attending our virtual classroom and experiencing the environment and camaraderie that we create, all without the burden of traveling and juggling childcare. I say this as a mother of three and the daughter of a single mom struggling to make ends meet, living in New Haven, and single parents, specifically moms, need a chance to participate. As we know, you must show up to win. And this is very hard with responsibilities of being caregiver to kids, to parents, sometimes both. And we have advocated to make equity programs internally equitable and look at meeting the needs of women in this economy, hit especially hard in recent years. We are excited to partner with Reset, whose Impact Accelerator won an SBA award and has supported hundreds of entrepreneurs with their holistic, impact-oriented approach. This team is led by women. The coalition provides a deep bench of diverse experts, trusted key subcontractors strengthen these wraparound services. And these are folks in the field that are out there making it happen and then coming into our classroom and facilities at Reset, sticking to their expertise in guided presentations and discussion formats, but also mentoring and coaching in the relevant fields. Oaksterdam would be the prime vendor providing equity technical assistance, and Reset would be our key subcontractor. We do have experience as prime vendor providing these similar services for the cities of Oakland, Palm Springs, Los Angeles, and formerly San Francisco, Florida, and Missouri. Reset will perform the vital functions of cohort facilitator and the hands-on project management to activate this local support system and coordinate participant workflow. Reset's human-centered approach to working with cohorts of entrepreneurs to build community and business acumen, coupled with their local ecosystem development, including subject matter experts, investors, community partners, and other entrepreneurs, make this an ideal relationship. And you'll hear more about Reset's boots on the ground support a little bit later. We do envision a long-term collaboration that enables Connecticut's cannabis community to grow and thrive through these unique contributions. And our easy-to-use technology platform is already built, so we can bring these global best practices from cannabis stakeholders and expert practitioners, as well as provide regular updates that are essential to the curriculum as policies change so quickly. This will be essential for the long-term sustainability of this program. One-to-one technical assistance for equity applicants and licensees is key to our work plan ethos. This means immediate fulfillment with industry-recognized education, coupled with small group training. More on this from Sarah shortly as well. The ecosystem support, the limited licenses require a very robust ecosystem for success, and this project will support sector-wide knowledge generation and Connecticut-wide coordination. Our team believes that ecosystem support and mentorship will be essential to the long-term success of these entrepreneurs, especially true for social equity entrepreneurs who, by definition, start with less resources and struggle to know where to turn to receive quality support. Note on equitable workforce development. I'm going to skip some of this, but I do just want to encourage you to move quickly to create resources for workforce so that they can be the first hired into these businesses, become those founding employees that grow with the businesses so that they're not that last thought and become always the entry-level employees. Quality jobs are super important for a large group of these people that are not seeking to be entrepreneurs. So I applaud those efforts that you're already undertaking. Meeting verified equity applicants where they are. Our Business of Cannabis program creates a solid foundation of understanding about the current state of the cannabis business. This program is suitable for folks with a high school diploma or equivalent. Students who complete this program are better prepared to take additional coursework that is highly specific to cannabis operations and other functional areas. All of our methods of delivery and our programming are mobile friendly, ensuring that our accelerator offerings are as accessible as possible. They're also ADA plus rated. Networks are essential, as we know, to any small business. And throughout this program, participants will have many opportunities to connect with their peers and leading industry experts across these various platforms. It will include interactive lectures, both virtual and live events, and direct contact with their business coaches. These formal and informal opportunities to connect, share ideas, and provide support can drive more successful outcomes and help foster a cohesive equity community in Connecticut. Both Reset and OU have found that many students forge meaningful connections through the shared experience of our cohorts, forming durable supply chain relationships and partnerships. Business coaches also serve as a key link to connect participants to their peers and the broader cannabis community in Connecticut. And our coaches will facilitate these connections by hosting regular group meetings and encouraging participants to set up their own outside communications. OU and Reset will create an outreach campaign with the SEC and our subcontractor partners to ensure that messaging and program access is consistent and streamlined for all participants. And with the approval and direction of the Social Equity Council, we would create a Cannabis Accelerator Program specific stakeholder advisory board from the launch to ensure that the accelerator stakeholders and programming are meeting the needs of both the participants and the community. And this would serve as the catalyst for that local ecosystem of support companies to be able to interact. More specifically, ArcView will prepare investors for the Connecticut cannabis industry and local qualified investors who are ready to invest in local cannabis businesses before a live pitch event with our cohort, increasing the odds of local flavor and consideration. Member organizations like the International Cannabis Bar Association and the MCBA will be providing the framework for new subcontractors who are local experts and wish to become cannabis consultants for some of these wraparound services, like helping find real estate or suitable locations, and also to support local attorneys to assist with contract and lease agreements, importantly, to spot predatory or non-conforming agreements in advance. I do want to cover one piece of calendar shock. We agreed that we needed to spend a little bit more time with each participant than initially envisioned by the council. We do not underestimate the cannabis industry itself, and we both agreed independently and together that an 8-month wraparound experience with the opportunity to build deep connections within the equity supply chain and long-term support rather than 2 back-to-back small cohorts, 1 large cohort of close to 30 participants. Now I'm going to briefly walk you through our work plan deliverables and schedule. Every component of the RFP's request for a comprehensive accelerator program is reflected in this programming and is within budget. Oaksterdam is taking a blended learning and delivery approach with our deliverables with Reset, incorporating best practices from ArcView and Reset's extensive experience running accelerators. OU has our learning management system called an LMS to deliver this coursework and self-paced learning options. And this programming comes in several different formats, including asynchronous, otherwise on demand, you can take it when you want, or synchronous offerings come in the form of virtual webinars or live, not just our virtual classroom, but live experiences, and adding in coaching and Resets in-person networking events. This work plan is extremely comprehensive, but also accessible to equity applicants in all the nooks, crannies, and corners of Connecticut. Phase 1A is a preparatory phase to help equity applicants nail down the exact business model they want to pursue and onboard the cohort of applicants to the tools they will use in this accelerator program. Following up on the intro webinar series, we will simultaneously launch a skills and goals assessment with each equity applicant. These assessments will enable the Reset facilitator to create groups of applicants into smaller cohorts that will work together with their assigned coach to develop business plans within their particular sector or business type. Reviews and assessments will be repeated at strategic points during their journey, and we recommend tracking outcomes after graduation. Phase 2A will be the enrollment of all applicants in OU's renowned Business of Cannabis certification program. This comes in 2 formats for ease of delivery and will meet the learning style of all the equity applicants in Connecticut. This course prepares applicants to work in the highly regulated and still federally illegal cannabis industry. This course also covers critical foundational topics that will inform the business planning phases of this program. Participants receive foundational education in business and startup management. They also cover compliance, best practices, and facility design, as well as gain competency in general cannabis knowledge, including history, policy, law, economics, and cannabis science. Folks will earn a recognized certificate of completion from their Business of Cannabis program from Oaksterdam, but after the pitch event, an even more illustrious recognition for completing the Connecticut Social Equity Accelerator Program. Phase 2B is a guided coaching experience that will help the small cohort groups reach many milestones in their business formation journey. And this is proprietary to Connecticut and will include a blend of both self-paced learning modules, webinars, and group-paced coaching. We expect completion March of 2023. They will have a compliant and viable business plan and pitch deck, as well as pro forma documents. The EAs will receive skills training in business planning and startup, finding that viable business location, the business planning that is license specific and relevant to their stage in the planning process, as well as that local investor preparedness and local impact and workforce development training as they prepare their business plans and get ready for fundraising. The final phase, phase 3, is the first of its kind finance accelerator in the cannabis equity space that will leverage this closing part, this vast network and expertise of ArcView Group, a leading national cannabis investment firm, to provide a comprehensive education in cannabis finance, grant funding, debt versus equity funding, and pro forma development. This programming series will combine our virtual classroom experience, self-paced learning modules, and individualized applicant support over 2 months. It will culminate in both virtual and live pitch day events, where Connecticut applicants can pitch their businesses to accredited investors and seek funding opportunities. And while we can never guarantee funding, this is the best opportunity that we have found out there. And as you can see, the programming for phase 3 is very comprehensive. And we do have a full submission report that hopefully the leadership of the committee is willing to share with the council, where we can really dig into the details of the program. I'm going to now turn it over to Sarah.
Thanks. And I just want to do a time check. We're definitely well over it. We're probably at the 15-minute mark now. So Sarah, I don't know if you can quickly hit on this, and then I do want to open it up for questions because I think a lot of it will come out in the questions that council members might have.
Thank you. Absolutely. So yeah, I will just touch briefly on Reset's role here for a few moments. So throughout the accelerator experience, both Reset and Oaksterdam will provide really tailored services and experiences to the community. We're going to host a handful of events throughout the year, bringing together national experts to the state of Connecticut. We're really excited about the investment readiness component that ArcView is able to provide. And in addition to the class time, there will be community dinners, office hours with subject matter experts. We'll coordinate field trips to visit some of our existing in-state and local New England operators to get up close and personal with the day-to-day operations. And Reset is already really connected in the state of Connecticut. So a big part of our work is ensuring that equity applicants have access to the right resources at the right time, including, connections and introductions to our partners throughout the state. And just to speak briefly to those partners, we've engaged with subject matter experts who are really ready to sign on as advisors, mentors, guest speakers. Our local network right here includes experienced cannabis entrepreneurs from cultivation to retail and everything in between. And we've also, as you can see on the slide, been working with industry-specific experts in accounting, legal, workforce, et cetera. We've got entrepreneurs like Luis Vega of Wepa Farms, the state's first Latino hemp farmer, Ulysses Youngblood, a Connecticut native, founder of the Major Bloom, Ben Zacks of Fine Fettle, and others who are really enthusiastic to show up and share their experiences with these newer entrepreneurs. Beyond these, we just have a vast network here in the state and well beyond, thanks to the partnership with Oaksterdam that we're excited to leverage. So we'll be, executing on the ground. We are here and we will be continuing to build the community that we've been built on. And we're really excited to bring that facilitation, and to continue really to prioritize the diversity, equity, and inclusion that's at the core of all of this. I just briefly want to touch on really what success looks like for all of us. To me, I'm going to jump to the biggest part of this is I think importantly, we're looking to really put Connecticut on the map as a forward-thinking, equity-centered cannabis industry leader. I'm incredibly grateful to this council for the work that you're doing to, take the best practices we've seen everywhere and really put something forth that's pretty powerful. And I think we'll really celebrate when we see the systems change in action and start to see not only the entrepreneurs, but from workforce to service providers and well beyond succeeding, building wealth, and really thriving in this industry thanks to the impact here. I will pass it back to Dale to take us out briefly before we take questions.
Thank you so much, Sarah. And I'm going to skip my amazing close that I spent hours making perfect for you and just simply say that it is quantifiably and categorically more difficult for the differently abled LGBTQ+ people of color, especially women of color. And much of what we do is teach people what not to do. What you don't know in this industry will hurt you, and the risks are still very high. It is vital that participants receive the correct information to mitigate the risks as they navigate through this uncertain market and shifting laws. I do hope to be able to send a letter and especially address Councilman Gaddis and Chairwoman Comer, because you sparked some important conversation around the 13th Amendment and punishment for a crime where the duly convicted still can be enslaved. This coalition does not take this mission lightly, and we would be honored and thrilled to work together to build this and serve the residents and social equity participants of the great state of Connecticut, and to work with you, Social Equity Council. Thank you so much for your time and attention today. We
Thank you.
welcome any questions.
I will open it up for questions for Dale or Sarah. Councilman Shaw. Councilwoman Shaw, sorry.
Thank you. And thank you very much for the presentation. I'll go quickly through my questions in the interest of time and in deference to my fellow council members. You've indicated that this is the first collaboration between Reset and Oaksterdam. How do you know this is going to work? Do you have an MOU between you, or how is this going to play out?
I appreciate the question, Ms. Shaw, Councilperson Shaw. First and